fucking spring days, summer days, birds chirping. Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. Literally warming my soul to this event right here. Yeah, some things are running. I can hear it running back over here. The poor cat was here yesterday trying to jump from the rooftop to the edge and didn't make it and slid all the way down. And I thought that is a metaphor for life. It's all of us taking a leap of faith to another location and then not making it and then just falling flat on our faces. And that's the mental games that I'm talking about, bro. This is the games that happen. And that's the reason for it all. Gotta take a jump, gotta take a leap. And you must, most importantly, gotta be free mentally, and that's what we're doing in the morning. Motivation brought to you by Futurola Tyson Papers, Mike Tyson, actual papers, blunt papers. We're gonna be rolling. The morning motivation, and just talking about it again from yesterday. The mental games that we play with our minds, the painting the picture. I just had my last uh, session with my psychologist. That was 6 sessions. The first one was 2 hours. And I finished up basically 6 hours total with this individual, learning basically the same stuff that I already knew. So it's kind of sucks. It's $300, but for my mental health and to listen to other people, let me know when someone else is stonewalling me, and about reactive abuse, and most importantly, just putting some brakes on this car that could just stop and think sometimes, like, is this that important to me, right? Like, I'll grab my nuts from inside too, but is it that important to me that I need to give it all of my energy? And that's what we're really calculating. What's worth your time, energy, money? It's the whole meat, your money, energy, attention, and time. And that's why I posted this morning. If it's not giving you orgasms, profit, or peace, why do we spend so much time onto it? And that's a real big question, because that's what ends up happening is we'll spend a fuck ton of time on shit that don't work for us, especially our mentality. My buddy's sitting there in apathy. I'm like, apathetic doesn't work. Just having feelings of over feeling everything isn't going to make the feeling stop. And that's why I was like, dude, knock it off. You're far too emotional. And I mean, most of us are. With somewhere between the sugars and the foods and the carbohydrates and something in there makes us become so emotional that we can't even process our daily lives. We can't even spend time on things that are absolutely free and absolutely fascinating. We tend to hover on the things that aren't working and beat ourselves up and make it worse than it has to be, and catastrophize. And pretty much it's a brutal place to live up inside of our brains. And that's why I was like, these are mental games. This is all about your spirit. If you can wake up with the spirit of life inside you, I think you've already got half of the battle won, because so much of the training over the years of all of us to, you know, see the worst in things or people, or maybe we think that by ratcheting up our nervous systems that it's going to make our performance better. I think a lot of people are anxiety based performers, right? So it's like if things are really anxious, then they know they're taking it really seriously, and then that they can focus extreme amounts, like almost like a robot, just to get the best results out of themselves. When the truth is the most best results we have are when we're like calm, like our minds are at flow. And I think that's what all athletes want to do. They call it flow. They call that super sports focus, that we want to be at our best prime at a certain time, right? Like we want our speed to kick in, or our mental fortitude to kick in, or something else to begin, so we can begin to be the best version of ourselves. Not as easy to say. I mean, easier to say than it is to do. Obviously everybody wants to be gold medal ready when the clock strikes at the Olympics. That's a whole another level of performance and being there now, making yourself be able to perform dance monkey dance on time, and to make it a reality that works. Let me go get my notes too. I'm gonna go grab my show. I want to smoke this one. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Thank you. Get grandma to come out here. Come smoke with me with her. Huh? Can't hear you, huh? Well, I got notes for you guys for my learning. $300 worth. I'm gonna roll my joint on this bitch. But the last time I was talking to you guys about some blurring concepts, which I don't think really worked. It's nice and all. It's basically like having an educated friend to talk to. You know, this is a person that's a doctor, that's way more patient, that isn't going to take everything personal, right? Her job is to kind of demystify some of these things and go, oh, okay, that's called, that's projection, or that's mirroring, or that's stonewalling, and take the things of the events and break them down a little bit more educational than your friend, like, oh, he's just an asshole. Like, a lot of people will just quantify it like that, right? They'll just call you an asshole. They won't explain that this person has toxic behaviors because something happened in them in their childhood, or something's not making sense for their reaction speed. There's so many things that happen to us all. I know you know what I mean. And to get the explanation, wow, there's some work trucks coming through this morning. To get a better explanation on what is exactly happening in my mental game, right? Was I don't know. I don't want to say it's priceless. $300 is $300. It's not cheap. The sessions happen so fast. Like, basically it's just been in the whole month. I said I would do it 3 more times, but I'm sitting here going, like, I pretty much figured it out myself. You gotta watch your temper. You gotta have some breaks. You gotta be able to, before you pop off, you need to be able to have some sort of resistance to that kind of training, that kind of response rate that we all have mentally. I mean, it would be superhuman. We talked about it, like, if all humans were just, so woke and so balanced that they go, oh, this is a conflict. I don't want to respond really fast, and I'm going to be calm under this conflict. I'm going to just process it properly, and you're never going to get my ultimate reaction out of me. And I think that just doesn't seem human, right? Like, if you were that kind of a controlled human, you'd already be Buddha. You know what I mean, bro? You'd already have Buddha-like abilities to transcend your emotions, your traits, and your behaviors, and respond in such a classic form that you are no longer responding from a guttural, physical, emotional state. Which, let me say that correctly, because I wanted to. I have notes on it. Let me get this weed off of this notes real quick so I can say it correctly. But it's a biopsychosocial is really what it is. So your biological, your social responses, and your psycho responses. So you'll have some biologically, you'll have some kind of impulse situation going on that's going to send you, hey, my signal. It's going to send us emotionality, and that's going to have us have some kind of reaction. So, I mean, it's almost like the ultimate experience is what you do or say echoes in eternity. It becomes a whole limity snippets of events. Definitely join We Club. Make sure you join We Club. And a whole limited snippets of events, like, okay, why did I react that way? Well, these are the mental games. You know what I mean? It's literally a game. Person approaches, non-player character, an NPC pulls up and says some stupid shit to you, like, hey, you look fat, or I don't like what you're wearing, or blah, 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 blah. The superhuman thing to do is, when this person approaches you, are they in the mindset for a rational response? Are they even available? I mean, I've never done this before in my life, but I just took everybody as they came, right? Definitely join weed club. Definitely join weed club. Definitely join weed clubs. Jeez. But I've never done that before. I just thought, hey, rationale was rationale. Like it or not, here it comes. And I've never even stopped to think, does this person can even handle rationale right now? Does this person even know what the fuck is going on? Do I need to buy them a Blues Clues, or is it way past their availability? Like maybe they've already gone too far. Maybe they're already far too emotional for me to even reach them. Maybe it has to be something more um professional, where you just go, okay, hey, both of us are not in the right mindset to have this conversation right now. I'll just come back when you and I both can talk reasonably. And communication is a dictation of maturity. If you can not stonewall, not respond fast, if you can do somewhere between this extreme of not talking to anyone at all and being too fast and too furious with your responses, you're going to be somewhere in the superhuman level, Superman level of healing. That's what I call it. I don't know. It's just like if anybody could do superhuman shit, right? It would be this. Uh, we get used to toxic traits, used to the neglect, or we're used to the abandonment. That was a trip and a half. Just how familiar it is. Once I got the email from my mom, it reminded me of my ex. Just nothing's ever good enough. Mediocre. Oh shit, someone's trying to buzz me. Trying to buzz my show, making my shit fall. Yep, I spit. Mm-hmm. Some people spit for reals. Attracted to that in another toxic person. So we'll see some toxic behavior and we'll be like, ooh, that is familiar. What? You don't give me compliments after I do something good? That's some toxic behavior. That's some neglect. What? You have a avoidant attachment disorder. And you got this anxious disorder where avoidant or anxious attachment disorders where you're going to constantly pull away when everything gets intense and just hide. You know what I mean? There's like basically that in itself. So I don't know what people are trying to do, but familiarity can even toxic can be comfortable. So in our heads, we'll be like, oh my God, he's a day drinker, and be with the dude still, or girl, because that's how our dad was, that's how our mother was. It is far more, humans are more fearful of the unknown than they are of the familiar. So even if the familiar is toxic, right? This is the mental games that we play with ourselves. Even if the familiar is toxic, we'll hang around with it because it's way more comfortable with something that's familiar and we can identify with than something that's exterior or we don't know nothing about and we're like, that's fearful. That's too much sauce. That's too much unknown. I don't want to know. Too much for me mentality. So it goes to your bio, psycho, and social. In balance of all three, is your biology in check? I know there's still certain words that give me, like Bangkok, still make me think abortion. I don't even say a home chick's name anymore. I call her the lesson. And my social cues too. Like, am I being the person that's being needy, or am I being the person that's giving? In my friend circles, I want to know that. And I don't want this anymore. Make a Make a Born Day? Born Day? Be I have no idea what I wrote. Make a I don't want this anymore. Make a boom day. I have no idea what I wrote. Physical release through my hands. A workout. So much stress will be in my body that I actually have to allocate myself a workout and let my anxieties out through a physical outlet, a preferred physical outlet than around people or in situations. It's just one of those things. So, but How long does it take you to brush your teeth? Some people's kids. But anyway, um, physical release through hands, not personalizing, objectifying, removing the I from it seemed to be the big thing. Like, I felt this way, or I did this, or and then she did this to me. I don't personalize anything. I try to objectify it. There's a cool thing I'm going to come up with here shortly. Man, that's been a lot this morning. Not personalizing, objective, removing it. Your point of view, okay, here it is. Your point of view is a ball passed around back and forth. So, in essence, whenever we're in communication, it's like basketball. Did you pass the ball around enough that everyone felt heard? And did you actually listen to the person while they did whatever they want with the basketball freestyle? You don't want to be on the show, do you?
No.
No. Do you want to smoke with me, though?
Yes, please.
Aw. Did you miss me?
Yes.
That's salad. Here you go, babies. Oh, beautiful baby. So the real part was this ball that everybody passed around. And if I can be Kobe, then I think I'm special with the ball. And I do. I think I'm Kobe on the team. I can dunk. I can do all sorts of crazy shit with the ball. And then what ends up happening is I end up being a ball hog. And then the other person doesn't feel validated. The other person doesn't feel listened to. They don't I didn't pass them the ball in essence. And it's like, that's not a good basketball team. That's not even a good team at all. Anybody that's playing good ball needs to pass the ball around. And that's what ends up happening. So there we go. That way you won't have to be on the show.
Can't get it.
Some people's kids. So tasty. Your tan little blonde hairs on your tan arm. I have ball skills, don't have to be a ball hog. Kobe. So in my mind, right, my Kobe playing skills come from knowing that as soon as I get the rock, I got people skills. I got all sorts of things going on. You know what I mean? I got skills. Like, this is what I do. Like, I don't mind the rock coming my way, because some people, they're all over the place. Some people, they're just fucking, they're frazzled. They don't know what the fuck to do with the ball. They'll get scared and then they'll hyperventilate or overreact or overthink or do all those things. I'm not afraid of any of that, right? Like, that's not my issue with the ball. My issue with the ball, like anyone that's good with the team, is passing it around enough, right? Letting the person have the other ball and giving them a chance to be heard and talked to, even if they play the ball whatever they want, even if you think their style crazy, like, bro, you double dribbled, or you bounced it off your foot, or you don't make no sense with the way you play in the ball. Doesn't matter. Everyone has a chance to play with the ball. It's almost like 4-year-olds or 5-year-olds playing with the ball. There is no right way to play with the ball, and everyone should have a chance to play with the ball. It seems fair. It seems like a really good metaphor, but at the same time, it's one of those things that I'd be like, okay, I never saw it that way. I just thought it was score, as long as my point was made and my bucket went in, that's all that mattered. And some people, it's not just about winning, it's about being heard. It's about being felt that they were heard. It's about that they were even on the same championship fucking team. They weren't just on the bench and got a ring. You know what I mean? It was like Kobe and Shaq gave them a ring. Like, they actually participated. And don't we all want to actually participate? It's almost like being a war veteran and you go to war and then you go, did you see any action? And you're like, nah, I was a nurse or something. You know what it meant that you didn't have any action, but you don't want to be fired at and possibly killed. It's a little bit of both, because, once you touch the ball, there's a lot of bit of responsibility for how you play that ball and how you play with other people and how you interact with them. So I thought that was a really good idea. I came up with it. Not my psychologist, but I still got to pay her. This is how it works. So compromise, de-escalate, mentally prepared. That's something I'm working on with Michelle's here. That we're going to get into it next time we go into a restaurant, that that this person is going to say something stupid and trigger you. That there's going to be a fight. How do you beat yourself to the punch? How do you not personalize it? How do you compromise? And one of the things it is to break it down before it becomes unbearable. I thought that was huge, because like most of the time it'll just be happening while you're at the restaurant. The person's already making you roll your eyes. They're already irritating you. You already want to strangle them in fucking public. Like, you're doing it to me again. This time it's like, I already know this person's about to pull some stupid shit. I already know how they are at in public, and I already know how they act in restaurants. My job is to break it down before it becomes unbearable. I call it an impulse inhibitor. When you have SSRIs, serotonin reuptake inhibitors in your brain, if you take really strong brain medicine, an SSRI is going to reuptake inside of your brain differently, like and put another right there on it for your receptors inside of your brain. This was an impulse inhibitor. So it's like, instead of being impulsive, like, I'm already at the restaurant, I'm already fired up, I'm already pissed, I'm going to put a cap on it. I'm going to find something to remember the end result, and remember that the end result was to have a nice dinner with someone that I loved, and then to enjoy myself and enjoy the meal. It's not how I ordered or how they ordered. It's not what they ordered. It could be blueberries, it could be bananas. Who gives a fuck, right? What matters is that we're together, right? What matters is that Baby Lungs always coughs through my show. What matters is communication and not control. So this is something I've been working on, and what I have to do it. What do I value? Right? Do I value the situation and the opportunity, or do I value control and arguments? I have to ask myself that, because you'll see yourself passing to the left of arguments or handing it off to the right of values. I mean, really, you have to, how you dishing this ball. It's a lot of ball handling skills, man. We're Allen Iverson right now. Can you laugh at the situation? This is the clutch thing that I got, think, the most out of it, besides for the ball metaphor and the familiarity. It was the churning the your irritation into hilariousness. Can you laugh at your Baby Lungs? Can you laugh at your situation, or can you
Try
can,
it.
can you have you smoked a joint before in your life? Lord have mercy.
Cough
So
to
was
get
the
off.
first time, this one.
Cough to get off.
And she's not alone. They're always my friends doing some Baby Lung shit, like the baby's first joint. Like, come on, baby. So yeah, nothing's perfect. None of us are sitting around here without, like, I call them safeties on your triggers, on your guns, the things that you know are going to irritate you, beating yourself to the punch. It's almost like a hypersonic missile going to an intercontinental ballistic missile. This ICBM has been sitting in the silo, ready to launch, probably in your subconscious or in your family tree, sitting here waiting to launch. It's headed for Berlin. It's headed for San Francisco, right? It's been steaming. We've all watched the movies. Well, the hypersonic missile is trying to hit that missile before it leaves the silo. Like, you're literally trying to beat yourself to your own impulses, and this is why it's superhuman. It's almost like you're Flash in Superman's head. Like, you got to be Superman, you got to rush over here, go save Lois Lane, or go over here to the burning building with the kittens. What do I do? Right? It's happening so fast. Fight, flight, freeze. So fast every time. Fight, flight, freeze. Who do I save first? I can't. I remember one of my favorite Supermans was the one from the 80s. I'm a kid of the 80s. And he lost Lois and she was dead. And he was like, no! And he started to get pissed and he ran around the opposite side of the earth. Anybody? Do you remember when he turned the world backwards and started to turn time?
No.
What? You don't remember when Superman went so far
Oh, wait.
back that he stopped the world and he started to go back and started to move it back in time, right? This is all of us. There's even another movie, I think it's called 47 Seconds, when the guy presses the ring and everything goes backwards 47 seconds. Anyone? No one? Anyway, we all wish that we could change reality. The only reality that we can change is the now. And this is why it's so impetus to have this hypersonic missile beat the intercontinental ballistic missile, because we're trying to beat ourselves at this point. You're almost superhuman. If you can outflash the Superman, if you can outflash yourself, I think you're tremendous. Why would you need a psychologist? Why would you need any kind of psychological understanding at all? You just have this magic ring that'd be like, oop, people didn't like what I said. Bink, in 47 seconds rewinds, and you try it again. And you'd be like, here, maybe if I said it this way, I'll get this response. Or it's the Kobe skills, man. It's the Allen Iversons. It's like, what kind of handles do you have on your emotions really would dictate your life. And that's what I'm seeing out of this whole 6 sessions, $300 worth of psychology and learning and sharing it with everybody. I didn't just give up on my skills. I still saw my psychologist even in America. I'm still selling products. It's literally a seed, and you are jumping out of your panties for it.
It was a bug.
No, that's a floating seed, and you just saw it. That's not a bug.
That was a bug.
Michelle,
it was like a little mosquito.
No, it's right here. Like these other ones are floating.
No,
there's more of them in the air. It was. It had a little seed in it. I'll go get it for you.
You recorded it.
I'm recording it. You just flicked it out of my crotch. It wasn't a bug. It had a little spindle.
It wasn't a bug.
You know the ones with the curlies,
It
guys?
was a bug because it landed on me first, and then it flew onto your crotch, and then I flicked it off, and then it
floated away because it wasn't a bug the whole time. It was a seed.
It's not like I saw it or anything.
I saw it too. I saw it too.
All right, rewind that tape. Look back again.
Let's go. Someone's got it on tape. Here comes another.
All right, Superman, rewind the world. Show that bug.
You know, you see them. You see the people trying to poke the bear. You see the people using your words against you, and your psychology is not healthy. That's called toxic. So anyway, beware. There are people that aren't going to get your education. Beware. There are people that are going to use your words against you. Beware. There are people that even know they fucking drive you insane, pull the same shit. Those people are going to stay out there. That's not like that's going to disappear. What is going to change is your emotional wheel. And this is the last thing I'm going to share, because most of us are either these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. I thought there were 5 things, but these are it. Either you're afraid, sad, disliked, alone, angry, or embarrassed. So one of the others is either happening. Either you have so many more emotions coming off of these 6 core emotions. It's not even funny. It's actually the whole emotional wheel, and I think it's the 3rd version of it. It's the emotional wheel 3. I've seen emotional wellness wheels. This is just the emotional wheel, and explaining in detail, because like you'll say something like angry, right, in your anger, but you won't know that like disappointment was in there somewhere, or grief was in there somewhere. There's words that cover other words, and I think it's really fantastic. Hey, can you pull it up on your phone real quick? That'd be dope. Of any of these things that are happening, usually it's because you're fighting your ego, my ego, trying to prove a point, be right, instead of saying, let's talk about it later. Oh my God, thank you. There's a whole wheel in colors and everything. And the one I wanted to get to was sad, had depressed, hurt, bereaved, melancholy, subdued, aggravated. Is that how you spell aggravated? Aggrieved, discouraged, morose. Oh, damn, this is a fucking dictionary salad right here. Who wants one? Despondent, deflated, injured, disconsolate, inconsolable, mournful, sorrowful, gloomy, somber, agonized, wounded, crestfallen, Jesus Christ, and broken. All in the word sad. That's just sad by itself. Like, it just sprinkles and splinters into a fuck ton of shit there. And that's all of us. It's all of us. So it's just one of these things where get a handle on it. No one is perfect. You're going to be passing to a lot of either opponents or teamwork members that don't want to work with you. You'll have a lot of confusion. This ball is real. This game is real. NBA All-Stars every day. It's happening. But the mental games that we play with ourselves or inside of ourselves or with a psychologist or in real life, the way you ball handle will determine how you win this game called life. And that's just facts. So that's your morning motivation. If you got anything out of those. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. But more importantly, I want everybody to start giving back. We're going to start launching Saints Giving. I'm bound and determined to make this an app. putting out there to fix homelessness and fix giving and organized giving and fix poverty, right? Like literally, if we waste a third of our food, if we can just switch it to someone else's mouth before it's wasted, it would be awesome. And then I'll have a dying wish completed. So, morning motivation. Like, share, subscribe. Peace and love. And as always, Chigatan. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Peace. Ciao. Bello. Beijos.